Hey everyone, it's Cuddly, Kitwana. Oh, did you have a good start into the new year? I certainly did, because 2024 will be a very special year for us Lion King fans, with the original animated classic celebrating its 30th anniversary, and with an all-new live-action movie coming up in July, which will be all about Mufasa. And so I'll be taking the opportunity to look at a couple more Lion King toys over the next couple months on my show. Before we get to the merchandise, the all-new merchandise of the new Mufasa live-action movie, I am looking back at a couple older Lion King toys. And one of these items, all the way back from 1994, is this huge, super ugly, super cuddly, adult Simba Plushie from Douglas Cuddle Toys. Douglas Cuddle Toys is a company based in New Hampshire, and they've been known for a while for specializing in life-size, lifelike Disney plushies. Unfortunately, nowadays they no longer have the Disney license, but they are still in business. They've really been a master at these very, very special plushies. One of the plushies that they also created is this one over here, this adult Simba, at which we looked in episode number 28 a couple of years ago. Today we are looking at the smaller edition, and this one is very, very special because, like many other Douglas Disney plushies, this was actually not quite intended for retail. This adult Simba was mainly given out as a sweepstake prize at stores that sold Nestle products. And back in 1994, you could send in a card, and that gave you the chance to win this huge 40-inch plush as one of the main prizes. You can actually see the prototype plushie, which still exists today and is owned by another collector, and I have one of the production models that, as said, was mainly raffled off as a sweepstake prize. Take a look at him, this super adorable face. I know it's not quite like the prototype and not quite close to the animated adult Simba, but still it is recognizable as a Lion King character, and I would say it's even recognizable as adult Simba. Look at his face. He's got two plastic eyes, and we can see some very fine detailing, some airbrushing, the whisker spots, and he does have these delicate whiskers. Take a look at them. That's very nice craftsmanship on this plushie. And the nose, the fabric they used for the nose almost feels like leather. It's probably fake leather, but it almost feels like it. And he has a super adorable smile, and the hair they used for the mane is super high quality as well. It doesn't go wild, it stays in place. You can actually comb it and brush it very, very nice. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool to have the rightful Lion King in this size. It's definitely one of the largest adult Simba plushies ever made. Look at this nice, soft, golden fur. It's so beautiful, and it still looks like new after 30 years. This is a 30 years old plushie. Look at that. And even the tail is stuffed and appropriately sized. See the tuft here, also in excellent condition. I'll give you a look on the other side here as well, so you can see the yellow fur better. Look at how clean and how beautiful this plushie is looking. Wow. And this is one of the few plushies that looks to the right. Usually most plushies look to the left. And you can see the adorable smile from this point of view as well. Oh, that's so cute. I love him so, so much. Oh. And then we'll take a look on his belly. And it's quite interesting to see not only the mane going all around him, and the mane also extending to the back part of his legs. As you can see here, very nice detail. But what's also quite an interesting construction is how they placed his rear left leg. That's actually sewn onto his main body here and goes all the way across, so make sure that you do not pop this seam here. Simba is super inviting to cuddle and huggle with, but still there is some points that I have to criticize. The main thing with him is the stuffing. The stuffing is a kind of polyurethane foam pellets, which is very unusual in nowadays plushies, and it has the disadvantage that it easily dislocates if you cuddle and huggle him too much. You can see mine has an issue on the right foreleg. It's limping. When I lift up Simba like this, you can see it is definitely limping compared to the left foreleg, which more or less stays in place. That's because the stuffing is dislocated right here. And another very delicate issue are not only his whiskers but also his eyes. Right here, you better avoid touching his eyes at all because they easily scratch. The black paint job especially chips off very, very easily, and I've seen many of these plushies on eBay with damaged eyes, which is so incredibly, it's such an incredible sad sight. So this plushie, as big and as cuddly as it is definitely not something for a child, and definitely more of a display and collector's piece. I have to be very honest about that, because if you treat it as such, it will retain its value, and you'll be sure the eyes, the whiskers and the stuffing keep the perfect condition. I was very lucky to get one with the eyes in perfect shape, pretty much factory fresh. You can see some very tiny chips, but not big of an issue. Where you could certainly correct that with a black Sharpie as long as they're very small. And in terms of value, a couple hundred of these have been made. There are two versions, one with the closed mouth that I have here, and the other one is with an open mouth, but otherwise exactly the same. A couple hundreds of these have been made, and if you happen to find one that's in a condition like this one, with no damaged eyes, then I'd say around $500 to $700 is an appropriate price, but definitely go not over that. And as I said, be very, very careful. You can find them for cheaper, but then take a close look on the photos and check the condition of the eyes. Usually they are in a pretty bad shape, and that's what makes them cheaper. If you are a Lion King fan, this one is not to be missed from your collection. It's definitely a standout piece, and I love to have him on display, and occasionally I cannot refrain from giving him a light hug and cuddle with him for a little bit, but always have to be aware of the stuffing and the eyes and the whiskers. Now in terms of size, real quick, before we finish this video, he's exactly 40 inches long from the nose to where his tail begins, 103 centimeters, and his head is just over 21 inches tall, around 54 centimeters, so that gives you an idea on the massive size. If I stand right next to it, can you see how big he is? And I'd say that's appropriate for the rightful Lion King. The only larger adult Simba Plush that exists is, as said, the one that you can see in the background, the sitting one, which actually weighs almost 100 pounds and definitely is not a child's toy, and definitely also a decorative item only. But this one is I'd say the second largest adult Simba plushie ever made, and it's definitely one of my very favorite items in my Lion King collection. So thank you so much for having watched this episode of Kitwana's Toys. I'll see you for the next one with another Lion King toy. Goodbye.